everyone. Welcome to Zelda Speedruns, where we are starting up again the Wind Waker Randomizer bi-weekly tournament settings races. Hello, hello. My name is Tanjo3 and I will be your comm for today. And joining me will be Random Girl on tracking for our two runners today. We have Advo on the left, the current champion who won Season 5, as well as the Random Settings tournament that just concluded. And over on the right we have Crane, a veteran of the game. How is everyone doing? For those unaware, tournament settings are the ones that we used in the Season 5 tournament, so not Random Settings tournament, but the Season 5 tournament. So you can see we have dungeons on, 3 dungeon race mode, puzzle secret caves, free gifts, mail, miscellaneous checks, island puzzles, short side quests, start with the sword but not the shield. We have hints on, the King of Red Lions, and we have chest texture matches contents. So pretty cool set of settings, and actually these were settings that we actually ran on a custom dev build for the Season 5 tournament. And now with the release of the official 1.10 version of the Wind Waker Randomizer, chest texture matches contents and hints on the King of Red Lions have been officially added to the randomizer. So pretty excited. If you're interested in trying that out yourself, feel free to download the 1.10 version of the randomizer. Alright, we're getting started here in a second. Let's see where we start off. We have random starting island, and we have Horseshoe as a random starting island. So now you can see the runners immediately talk to the King of Red Lions, who is going to give us all of our hints all at once. We have Paw Print to Calidamos. We have Headstone to Goma. I was not prepared to write these down when I should have been. Mail to Helmarock King. I see an Outset Foolish, Bird's Peak Foolish, Needle Rock to Ganondorf. In the Woods, Hurricane Spin, Horseshoe. Nick having an empty bottle, that could be something. We'll see. Power Bracelets on Dragon Roost Fly Around. Sword in Dragon Roost Cavern as well, not bad. Binky Chest is nothing, so that's a good one to know. And Tree Branch is nothing, that's also good to know. So yeah, that's definitely a lot of hints. But yeah, now the runners have to kind of adapt to all that information. I'm going to start with the Salvage Core here on Advo's side, having nothing. Horseshoe Island also was hinted barren, so no point in sticking around here and doing it leafless. And Advo is going to opt to head over to do Island Diamond Step early, without the hook shot. Now, it should be noted that there is one difference between these settings that we're running today and the settings that were used in the tournament, in that the tournament started us with a random item, but that feature was not added to the randomizer, so we're not starting with a random item, just starting with the base set of items here. And Advo gets that first try, buffering the sail jump into the middle of the Octo Whirlpool, getting a void, and the game puts you on top of the island. Then do a Wind Waker dive on the side of the island, swim over inside the island to where the little pool of water is at the top, and we're going to pop up all the way at the top of the island and just jump into the hole. And Crane also gets it first try into the whirlpool. Well done. Yeah, both runners are going to be able to skip the hookshot requirement for this cave. Yeah, so you use the Floor Master there. A little bit of movement there to manipulate the Floor Master to throw the pot at you so you can pick up the stick without it bothering you. And we're just going to bring the lit torch all the way here. You can see back there on Advo's side that the chest there is actually spiky. And he's trying to look at the chest over on the other side. I couldn't quite get a good look at it. Um, but you can see from far away if it's spiky, and it is actually spiky. It's gonna have something somewhat good. That's pretty good, the hero's bow on Advo's side. That is a nice find to get, having a ranged weapon. Alright. And again, Crane gonna be following in Advo's footsteps here while Advo grabs the second chest, which is the Triforce Shard. Which is also very good. Although it doesn't have any immediate effects, we do need all 8 of those to open up the portal to Hyrule to beat the game. But right now, it is not going to do anything for us. So now Advo is going to set up for a Super Swim, so if you are sensitive to flashing images, you're going to want to look away from Advo's side of the screen. Okay, Advo is basically going to be charging up his negative speed in the water, thanks to the camera lock. And we're going to be swimming right over into Islet of Steel. Hopefully. Crane getting the shard from Diamond Step. See if Crane opts to do the Super Swim as well. Alright, and Advo is in, so you can look back on Advo's side, and I think Crane will not go for the Super Swim. And we'll be heading somewhere else. And over to Mother and Child. It's a spiky. Alright, so yeah, Advo's going to be staying out of logic here. Nothing, unfortunately, at Islet. Oh, and getting the lead from Mother and Child Isles on Crane's side. That's not a bad find early. Not at all. Advo's going to be heading off to where? Going to be also going to Mother and Child while Crane heads over to Windfall. Yes, so as the random girl noted, our dungeons are Forsaken Fortress, Dragon Roost Cavern, and Forbidden Woods. Thanks to race mode, we only have to do 3 of the 6 dungeons, chosen at random, which means that Tower of the Gods, Earth Temple, and Wind Temple are all barren, which is really nice. Yeah, avoiding out using the Triforce symbol there is a fun little thing. If you're fast, it only saves a second, really. Then save quitting or swimming out, but it's a fun little time save. And what Advo did there is he stored the chest, which gave him super small collision properties. Which means he could clip out of the island and then void on the raft, so he can go do a Cyclos here. Which is perfect with the bow that he just got. Meanwhile, on Crane's side, we got Ghost Ship Chart from Tingle. Which is something that can be done. And you see Crane doing a peek there. So sidling behind the jail door and sticking his head out the window so you could peek at the chest in the maze. And since it was a brown chest and not a spiky one, he knows he doesn't have to go into the maze. So a nice little time save there. Okay, Cyclo's giving us the hook shot. That's pretty nice. And that is a bow locked hook shot, which means the bow that Advo got is logically not the first. Let's see if that matters. Coming up. Alright, Advo gonna go for a classic Season 5 starter. Well, I mean, it's 7 minutes in, but once we move away from our starting island, the classic start would be to go do Cliff Plateau. So, oh, we found the command melody in the shop here. Advo not going to buy it because we don't have any of the dungeons that require command melody. While Crane getting a Tingle statue. We need 5 of those to turn in. So we'll see if that's any useful. Din's Pearl on Crane's side. That is not useful. We don't need to spawn in Tower of the Gods, and that is all Din's Pearl is useful for. Alright, fun thing about Season 5 is that we actually start everyone with the telescope. And this is just to make peeking chests from afar a little bit more consistent and easier. So you can see Advo there using the telescope to peek both the Forest Haven island checks as well as the Cliff Plateau outer checks. This is particularly useful because normally what you would do here is store the chest inside Cliff Plateau so you can get the upper chest and then store that to go to Bird's Peak, but we know Bird's Peak is nothing. So Advo can just leave the island entirely since he's peeked the outside chest. So Advo goes now. Might go to outset, might go to DRI. Nope, might just go back to Forest Haven. Alright, 200 rupees on Crane's side from top. Alright, so Adver must have peeked a spiky chest on the island here. He is going to go for that. So using the Cyclone there to get enough height, and with Double Magic it's pretty easy to just leap straight over to the island. You can do this with single magic, I believe, but I think it's really tight. It might, maybe not. Ooh, and the Master Sword, that's a nice find for Advo. That doubles your damage. And you need 3 sword upgrades in these settings. And only the first one actually has an effect. It doubles your damage, and then subsequent sword upgrades don't. So, getting a Master Sword early on is pretty nice. Alright, Crane finished with Hide and Seek on Windfall, gonna be rewarded with a Triforce Shard from Ivan. As Advo sail hops over to Angular. Alright, Orange Rupee from Miss Marie, nothing useful there. So sail hopping is the fastest way to move in this game on the water. It is a little precise though. You want to... Basically what sail hopping does is that when you pull up the sail, you have to get a low burst of speed. And when you hop, you have to keep that speed in the air. So you want to hop basically the frame that you gain at low speed, because that speed starts to decay pretty fast to your normal sailing speed. Alright, so Advo gonna go inside Angular Cave here. Normally you need Mirror Shield to check the chest, but because of chest texture matches contents, you can just see if the little outline, the transparent outline of the chest is spiky or not. And so Advo saw there that it wasn't, so doesn't even have to come back to Angular with the Mirror Shield. Alright, looks like Advo is going to go for a chest storage here. Okay, wow. And going over to Headstone. It might have been hinted or something. But yeah, gonna take that chest storage all the way over to Headstone. So we'll try to figure out what Advo stored. Identify it. Meanwhile, Crane getting the hook shot over from Cyclos. And is going to talk to the Salvage Corps as well, who we already know have nothing. Alright, so Crane is going to go over to Dragon Roost Island. Do know that power bracelets are here. Alright, Advo going to find the grappling hook on top of Headstone. That is a pretty solid find.
Thank you. Bye.
Especially since I'm sure DRC and Paw Print is on Advo's mind. Alright, we see both runners now on Dragon Roost Island. Different time of day. And both runners are going to do a little trick here with storage to get that that cave that's in the, or the chest that's in that little cave in the island. So we're going to get storage, and we're going to store the chest that drops down from the boulder after we shoot it down. And then we're going to do a Wind Waker dive in front of the chest to swim underneath the island. And we're going to head over to the backside of the island. Now, Advo's going to opt for a different route that is faster using the leaf. So Crane's going to walk, he's going to use chest storage to walk around the island on top of the collision here. And we're going to basically roll around over to where the cave is. Another sword for Advo. Isn't it updated? Alright, yeah, and Advo's gonna actually sail around to the other side of the island and use a pillar and leaf over, so you can see how much faster that is than walking around. So we got the power bracelets, which were hinted on both runners' side. And now we're gonna head over to a wind shrine for Advo. And a bottle over on Wind Shrine, so that's a nice find. It means that Manenko will be useless since Manenko just gives us a bottle. And there's no need for more than one. Alright, and Advo is going to opt to enter DRC here. He can full clear it with the grappling hook. And it's pretty fast. He has Leaf, he has a Master Sword. So you may as well. Soup is in logic, yep. Advo can even grab Soup or Fairy here for Grandma. Meanwhile, Crane is going to head over to Paw Print. And we do know that the grappling hook is on Headstone, which means that Crane, while able to peek the chest on top, will not be able to actually grab it. Unless he commits to some really whack shenanigans, which I doubt he would. Crane stored a Tingle statue, alright. So that means Advo must have stored one as well. Alright, another thing about chest textures matches contents is this new key chest texture. So when you see this texture on the chest, it means that there's going to be some sort of dungeon key inside it. Either a small or a boss key. Which items can say leads to Goma? It could be the grappling hook, or it could be an item that leads to the grappling hook. For example, delivery bag if Zanari has your grappling hook. Or it could be leaf or fire arrows in some specific cases to access the big key chest. Because it is logically expected to use, say, the Deku leaf and the grappling hook to get a small key from the big key chest, so you can progress through the dungeon. But today we just had a simple grappling hook hinted. And Crane gonna find another Tingle statue on Ghost Ship over at Crescent, as well as Ferora's Pearl. And Ferora's Pearl is the only interesting pearl this seed. Ferora's Pearl gives us a mail check, but we don't actually need all the pearls. We might find all the pearls, but we don't need them. Alright, another wooden chest there. And Advo, when he entered the dungeon here, shot down the 3 ropes hanging that keep the platform here suspended up there. So Advo can actually take this elevator all the way up and do the dungeon backwards, which is the fastest way to do the dungeon. Alright, Crane gonna go check the mail check from the Ferror's Pearl. And it's gonna be another shard. 5 more to go. We know 3 of those shards are on the dungeon bosses. So he's just missing 2 more, really. And on Advo's side, we have a spiky chest. This was hinted to be a sword. Alright, over in Paw Print we have the boomerang. As well as another shard, so there's another shard, so we're just missing 1 more shard, information-wise. And now Crane here is going to do a sidle behind the boulder, and you might be wondering why, because he has power bracelets, but it's so that he can peek the chest up there and see if it's spiky or not, and I think it was? I'm not sure. Does Crane know how to do the headstone glitch? Yeah, he does, for sure. Alright, Advo gonna go into this room, but it is a wooden chest, so can just leave. So no need to actually do the mini boss fight here. Yeah, it's definitely a good play on Advo's part, going for that, because you know it's path to Goma, but you know it's almost certainly the grappling hook. And then you know things like Paw Prints is path as well, so definitely a heads-up play by Advo, and Crane is again going to lose some time here because he doesn't have grappling hook to full clear the dungeon. But the randomizer does add inter-dungeon warp pots, so Crane can come back here through Forbidden Woods later. Once he does have the grappling hook, hopefully. Spiky chest here for Advo, but I don't think we will get the chance to see what it is because Advo is going to store this chest. He needs to do this to progress further backwards through the dungeon, because coming up here there's going to be a boarded up wall. And we can't pass through it unless we have bombs or fire arrows. But what we can do with chest storage is actually just stick our heads into the boards and use the hook shot to hook shot either the torch or the chest. And we can just keep on going. And you'll see here Advo going to be going backwards through locked doors. And you can do that in this game without using a small key, so long as you are going backwards through the door. Oh, and yeah, Advo did store a wallet there in the pot room and just found the bait bag, which puts that grapple in logic. Alright, another key chest there. Nope. Advo throwing the flaming stick against the wall, unfortunately. Is a lot hard to do from that angle. No, no, missed it again. Possibly because of the rat. Oh, there we go. No piggy because outset foolish. Oh yes, outset was foolish. That makes sense. Alright, and a shield for Advo, and now Advo knows that the remaining chest is a key, so he can skip it safely. We got a key here on Crane's side, the first key in the vanilla location, and then a key in the rat room, and then there must have been one more key. Because Advo knows that would have to be the big key. Oh, yeah, I think there's the big key here. So Advo can just pick it up. This has to be the big key because small keys can't be up here. Advo is going to just be able to walk right into the boss here and beat it, while Crane will have to come back later. Alright, first boss coming up on Advo's side. Is there a Wind Waker Randomizer tournament scheduled? Not yet. Not yet. Usually the main tournament will happen in the summer. But we might have things planned in the meantime. So yeah, feel free to join the Randomizer Racing Discord, even if you're not interested in racing. You just want to, watch or just, be part of discussions. You are more than welcome to join. And yeah, that would be the place to go if you want to know when the tournament starts up. Alright, Goma, pretty standard boss here. Just all cutscenes. Alright, we see Crane doing a little bit of a different route here through the dungeon. Going forwards through the pot room. A little bit slower than what Advo chose to do. As Advo heads over to phase 2 of the Goma fight. Nice. Nice one cycle there by Advo, and that is Goma down. We'll see if Advo actually saves Grandma here. I mean, it is Male. So Male is not tied to Outset. Male is it's kind of its own area. So Grandma Melt could be something, even though Outset is as foolish. So probably see Advo check that after Paw Print and Crescent. Advo might go Crescent here first. No, he doesn't have to go Ship Try, does he? Because Ghost Ship Try was on Windfall. So Advo will have to route in Ghost Ship, the shard from Ghost Ship, some other way. Unless he goes to Windfall right now, which I doubt he would. Oh, Advo gonna accidentally speak with Coral here, King of Red Lions. Okay, Crane, struggling a little bit, having fallen here with chest storage. You cannot push the blocks with chest storage or grab ledges, but you can hookshot, torch, and chest to get back up. I'm gonna use the small key there. Should also know that the last chest is a small key, so it doesn't need to keep it. Ending on a little bit of collision there. As Advo walks into Paw Print Cave. With the ability to full clear it. Crane grabbing the small key. Don't think Crane actually went up to the boss area. So, getting hit by the rat here. Alright, shield on Crane's side. Also picked up the bait bag on the bird's nest, and that's a wooden chest there, so Crane will have to come back to Paw Print. That's nice. Crane gonna keep going here in the dungeon. Should know that this is a small key, so gonna be losing a little bit of time here to Advo. So Advo starts to clean up paw print here, getting the boomerang here and the shard. Alright, Crane's going to take the warp pot to keep going up a little bit through the dungeon. Again, cannot complete it, fortunately. Advo going to be heading up to Crescent, where we found the Ferror's Pearl. Which we do need, because it does give us a shard. Now we're going to peek it first with the telescope, just to save some time in case it's nothing. Oh! The magtail pushing Crane into the lava there, unfortunate. I'll have to do the room again, so just gonna exit and re-enter just to reset the cycle. Just wait for the magtail to kind of get ready its attack. Just walk around it. Alright, so Crane gonna open up the shortcut here so you can come back quicker. Meanwhile, Advo over at the next dungeon, basically. Can go check the mail checks. We have the shard from the Pearl Mail. We have the wallet mail here, giving us 200. Hello, hello. Welcome over to Zelda Speedruns. We are having the bi-weekly tournament settings race. Alright, Advo going to continue to delay Windfall here. It makes sense though. Again, is equipped with everything he needs to full clear this dungeon. So you may as well. Maybe you can find a Picto Box here, or a delivery bag, just so you can do a few more things on Windfall. Alright, so yeah, Advo gonna be able to peek the bottom chest there by just looking down, and notice he can skip it. We'll just head over to the next chest, basically. Also peeking that one too, like that. I've never seen that peek done like that. Can be a lot hard to do these peeks though, depending on what platform you're running on. Alright, Crane gonna do the same thing, I think. Yeah, also going into Forbidden Woods here, and this is, or is he? Yeah, he is. Okay, and this is a little unfortunate. Forbidden Woods is logically locked by the grapple, which means that he's not gonna find the grapple here. He can beat the dungeon without grapple. He's also struggling a little bit with the trick here to get into Forbidden Woods. But yeah, so once he finds the grapple, he's not going to have, well, no, that's not true. It's going to be a little less convenient for him to go back into DRC than if he had the grapple, basically. Alright, Advo's going to continue through the dungeon here, using chest storage to store the hole in tree chest, which was spiky. And we're going to see the small key skip here for the dungeon. This is a pretty standard routing here. It's not so much to skip the small key, although it's nice to do that. But just so that you can do these rooms a little faster. Yeah, you can complete Forbidden Woods without grapple, which is basically what Advo's doing here. So yeah, with chest storage, you can just climb up at the side of the room there and leap over to these moving arms. Peeking another spiky chest there. And it is the last sword on Advo's side. So Advo is zooming here. We are quite close to go mode, honestly. Alright, and Advo did also store some other item, which I'm not sure what it is. I don't know. Might have been mail. We won't know until he finds delivery bag. But yeah, being able to skip the mini-boss fight there because you can just peek at the chest for having to beat Mafula. Pretty nice. Alright, Crane's gonna be doing basically the same route as Advo through this dungeon. Gonna again store this chest. We know where one shard is. One shard is on Ghost Ship. I think another one might be on Ivan. So we might know where all the shards are. So we're missing 2 bows and the hammer, I think, really. Okay, small key over there. And we also know that the mail is path to Forsaken Fortress. I don't think we found anything quite yet on the mail checks. We found a shard, but that's not going to lead us to Forsaken Fortress. Oop, I'm missing the jump slash there. That's fine. We're doing a little strat here with the boomerang to kill the flower without having to actually head in. Doing this from vanilla is really slow. And also going to be able to peek it there at the same time. Oh! Accidentally letting go of the flower, again dropping into the water. Crane is struggling a little bit here with the Peahats, getting knocked all the way down to the bottom of this room. Not a big deal, just an unfortunate time loss. Alright, Advo going to be doing leaf pumps through this hallway, I guess. Gonna make it all the way to the end. Well done. Alright, what is here? It is not spiky, so Advo is free to go. Still has the Morph Pit and the Vine Maze chests, but almost done this dungeon. Again, with no Windfall visit yet. We'll have to go Windfall, unfortunately. It's not a Windfall skip seed. Crane still needs to get the grappling hook from Headstone. Can do so with a Huey pair now. Alright, Crane fighting the Mothula here. Again, loses some time to Advo because okay, does actually peek the chest and is going to use Boomerang to get out of here. Okay. No, there's the last shard. Alright, so Advo's going to do the boss key skip here. Gonna store this Morph Pit chest. Can do a little bit of movement here to get out. I want to be careful to not fall in the water here. It's not over if you fall in the water. There is a way to hop out of the water, but it's definitely slow. Alright, the bosky skip here for Forbidden Woods is probably the easiest. You can just walk around the right side of the door. Nope, not the best cut there on Advo's side. Alright, here we go. We have Kalidamos. Pretty easy with the Master Sword. It just takes 2 quick spins, and the boss is defeated. Alright, so where will Advo go next? We go to Bomb Island. Oh no, Crane not getting the ledge grab right at the end there. So we'll have to swim all the way back, unfortunately. And try again. So the 2 things to note hint-wise, I would say, is that Mailbox is Path of Forsaken Fortress. That could be for bombs, which we actually don't need this seed. Almost bomb mail is something. And that Needle Rock is okay. Well, there's the bombs from the mail. So just like that, the Forsaken Fortress path is fulfilled. So that hammer could still be anywhere. It's a little annoying. But yeah, we do see Advo heading over to Bomb Island here, as Crane's going to do the intended strat to get through this water hallway of leaf pumping. Well, I don't know if you call it leaf pumping. Leaf blowing, maybe. And you're going to be able to check the bomb mill here as well. It could also be hammer here, but it's not, unfortunately. Alright, Bomb Island. A lot of runners do not like Bomb Island. It is definitely a little bit tricky of an island. Not the fastest either. Ooh, and the bomb unfortunately being placed a little too far from the magtail there. Be careful with that as well, that bomb can kill the magtail. But with CTMC, it's nice because you can just use the telescope here to peek whether or not the chest is spiky, which it is today. So this could be something good, or it could be something like a Tingle statue, which might lead to nothing. There is another shard on Crane's side. Oh, the magtail rolling into the lava there for Advo. That's always a little annoying. Right, getting the throw in. Alright, we see Crane doing the same thing as Advo, storing the Morph Pit chest to do the Bosky skip here. Alright, what do we got here? We have the hammer! Okay. Wow. So we are very close to go mode. We are missing 2 bows, basically. And we, as spectators, will know where all the items are. But yeah, I mean, Advo, of course, will just head straight to Forsaken Fortress here. And he's gonna be done every single dungeon, full cleared every single dungeon, before even heading to Windfall. Oh, and Crane missing the ferry there, unfortunately, so we're gonna get a little bit more a delay on saving Grandma on Crane's side. Alright. So, Neil Rock is path to Ganondorf. What that means, path to Ganondorf, Command Melody was on the Evil Shop, and Advert just opted to skip it since we don't Command Melody. But yeah, you are right. Command Melody could be in a barren location this seed. Because it has no use. It's guaranteed useless. Which is a interesting thing with 1.10. If all the delivery bag checks are dead, then delivery bag could be in a barren location. Nereus could be in a barren location. Picto is an item that we may or may not need. But yeah, Needle Rock was path to Ganondorf, and what that means, specifically on 1.10, path to Ganondorf, means that it has to be for Ganondorf specifically. It doesn't lead to an item required for a dungeon. With that said, I don't think the bow actually gave us anything. The bow gave us the hook shot, but that actually is also useless. So, I mean, basically the bow is going to be, there's going to be a bow on Needle Rock, probably. But Advil will probably wait for the Fire and Ice arrows before heading over. Though there is a chance, of course, that Fire and Ice, or light arrows are just blocked by Fire and Ice. Alright, so Crane gonna be trying to... oh, no. Alright, Crane gonna be headed over to Cliff Plateau now. As Advo's gonna try to store his chest. Wants to do so fairly quickly, does get first try, nicely done. But those mini blends can be quite annoying if you are struggling with the chest storage there. That first try means no problem. And Crane jumping off the island, fortunately. Alright, the Helm Rock fight begins with this spiral climb up to the top of the tower here. And so this is pretty standard stuff here. But then things get a little weird once we hit the top. So normally this fight is pretty heavy RNG. You need to wait for Helm Rock to peck at you, or you can strike it with your hammer. But we're gonna do a little storage strat to get around all that. So we're gonna get storage off the roof piece here, and that's gonna let us move around during the cutscene. And during this cutscene, we're basically gonna maneuver in such a way that we land on top of the jail cell at the bottom. And that's gonna put us in a perfect position to cheese this boss fight. Alright, Crane going through Cliff Plateau, didn't peek it from the outside, so Had to go all the way through to check. But yeah, Advo's gonna cancel out from the storage that you re-get after the cutscene ends. And down comes Helmrock. But we no longer need to wait for Helmrock to peck at us because we are at the perfect height to hit Helmrock while it's trying to get to us. So that is 4 easy hammer strikes on Helmrock's mask. And now we are again at Helmrock's height, so we can do 5 quick spins or 5 hammer strikes to defeat the boss. So GG's on Advo's side, beating all 3 dungeons, sub-hour, sub-50 even. And we are just missing a few items for go mode. Crane's not too far behind, for sure. We'll begin the hammer here in Bomb Island, which means we can head over to FF. But still needs that grappling hook from Headstone in order to return back to DRC and beat it. Sub 120, yeah. Tournament seeds are quite fast, and obviously Advo, being the best runner, is well positioned to do it the fastest here. Alright, Advo is going to head over to Windfall now, where we do know that last shard is side egg. We still need to find the bow. We can head up to Needle Rock for our last bow. Yeah, Windfall at 50 minutes. Advo going to be ignoring Mila for now. Mila, pretty slow check. Alright, the one advantage Crane has over Advo is having completed a good chunk of Windfall. And so Advo is going to be catching up on all that, getting the Din's Pearl as well as a Tingle Statue. Alright, Skull Hammer obtained on Crane's side. And we're going to set up for hide and seek here. You can't actually start the hide and seek. You do need to talk to Miss Marie twice to kind of start it, but you can do so at night. It's perfectly fine. Alright, Crane also going to Forsaken Fortress here. Crane's 3rd dungeon, but will be the 2nd one completed. Yeah, Crane there, only having to, you need to shoot the wooden door down 3 times, but you saw Crane only shot it twice there, and that's because the cannons are pretty dumb, and they'll actually help you out and fire an extra shot for you. So you can actually get around bombs entirely by just waiting for the cannons to shoot down the door. If you wait long enough, they'll do so. Usually it doesn't take too long. For sure getting that first shot. It's pretty kind of. Alright, Advo also going to do the head through the wall peek there. Let's see if Advo opts to do Mila here. Nope. So now we're gonna see Advo set up for a trick called the door cancel, probably, maybe? I don't know. Alright, the aerial mail gotten from defeating Helmrock King. What will it be? Just the joy pendant. Yeah, alright, so Advo gonna be setting up for a trick here called door cancel. So we're gonna get storage, and we're gonna talk to King of Redline specifically here to store his text. Then we're gonna roll up here. I have a plan with the Wind Waker to start the text boxes going. And yeah, we're just gonna open the door here, cancel through all the text boxes. It's gonna turn off the lights, and Advo's gonna talk to the kids to start the hide and seek quest. And what that does is it actually turns on the lights. So it becomes a lot easier to walk around here, but the collision obtained when opening a door and going through it is extremely small, smaller than chest storage. So you're gonna see Advo do some fancy movement here through Windfall because of that. Alright, Crane cleaning up Forsaken Fortress here. Finding that Picto box. I prompt him to return back to Windfall, but really needs to go grab that grappling hook at some point. So that's one property of door cancel there. You saw Advo jumping right through the floor into the water. So that can happen. And here again, Advo jumping through the walls again because of door cancel. Crane's gonna go around the vanilla route through the dungeon here in Forsaken Fortress. It's gonna be a little bit slower than what Advo did with the chest storage. Another door cancel trick there, climbing up the side of that cliff on Advo's side. Doing the side hop strat to get off there. That's just a little bit safer. If you kind of move incorrectly from that point, you can actually void. So just being safe. And Advo's going to use the leaf to get around, and again with door cancel walking through this door, which is locked because Advo hasn't spoken to Lenzo yet. But we don't care, we just walk right in. Alright, Crane entering the Helm Rock fight here, hopefully gets good RNG. I did say that the vanilla fight is RNG based, and what we do is less RNG based, but there is a little bit of RNG with how Helm Rocks flies down. And there is a chance you can soft lock, in which case you do need to save quit, restart the climb, which is an unfun time loss. Alright, Advo showing the picture to the Gossip Girls, getting the deluxe Picto from them, which we don't need unless Advo wants a second bottle. Alright, the one thing we can't do with door cancel is bonk the tree here. So Ivan is actually unobtainable with door cancel on. But once we go through the loading zone, like we did with Lenzo's house, and come out, our door cancel collision is gone, and we can finish up the hide and seek quest. And Advo is going to finish up his Triforce here. Gonna get the 8th and final shard from Ivan. So again, we are missing only 2 swords for go mode. Don't need the iron boots, don't need any mail, don't need Nayru's pearl, might not need delivery bag. We'll see. Alright, where will Advo head to next? Probably Outsets? Outset will let him buy bait, if necessary, for Needle Rock, as well as get Grandma's soup. Unless Needle Rock is delivery bag, yeah. Needle Rock is delivery bag, then that could change things. Advo might also go to Cabana here. You can full clear Cabana out of logic. But no, it's gonna go over to Windfall and save Grandma, probably. While Crane getting good RNG on Helm Rock there, gonna use the hammer to defeat him. And there is Helm Rock done for Crane. Alright, and there's the command melody on Advo. So I didn't buy it when he went in Beetle the first time, despite having the money for it, because you don't need command melody to see. but you might actually need the pair. And once you get bombs, the pair over on the right slot is gone. So you do actually need to buy the 20 rupee item. Alright, outset hinted bear in here, so we don't need any other checks here, other than maybe grandma's soup. Oh, and Crane also heading to outset, maybe also going to be saving grandma here. Not sure if he has a fairy on him or not. Oh no, just gonna head straight to headstone here for the grappling hook. Alright, soup obtained on Advo's side. So we do need the in-game clock to go through midnight to get grandma mail. So Advo's gonna play Song of Passing here to do just that. We'll see if grandma is hard required this seed. No. And that's a little unfortunate. Advo going out of his way to buy a pair and getting one for free from grandma. Alright, Advo gonna set up for another super swim here. So again, if you are sensitive to flashing images, you will want to look away from Advo's side in a bit. As Crane obtains the grapple as Nintendo intended from Headstone. A happy 1 hour mark. Let's see, 2 items from Go Mode. One of them is hinted on Noodle Rock. Well, Noodle Rock has something, I should say. It might not be a bow. Alright, here comes the Super Swim on Advo's side. Gonna be super swimming over to Needle Rock. Probably. I don't know if this is actually the best play, because you will have to save warp to leave Needle Rock. Unless it's a bow on the outside chest here, of course. Which it may or may not be. And the verdict is, well, it must be, right? So, it's a lot hard to see Spiky. Especially through the flame ring. But Advo's going to be doing this dungeon vanilla style, and we have a spiky chest on Crane's side. Let's see what that is. Crane going to store that chest. And it is a bow. Nice. Alright, so we are missing one last bow on Advo's side. It could be in a lot of places. For example, Crane might have just stored it. We'll see what happens. As Advo's going to be doing Needle Rock here. With his newly acquired Fire and Ice arrows. And it is the bow on Crane's side, so we are, as spectators, in no mode. Advo just needs to head over to Cabana, and we'll be in go mode. And honestly, going to Cabana here, I think, is what Advo will do. Yeah, it might be first bow. The bait bag was accessible pretty early as well. So, Needle Rock bow is also accessible, but it's pretty funny. So, again, we had Needle Rock hinted to Ganondorf, and Ganondorf can only be the half rule if it's specifically to beat Ganon. It can't be to get to Hyrule, or it can't be to beat the bosses, which means, and if Needle Rock chest bow is potentially the first accessible bow, it means that none of our dungeons and none of our shards were bow locked in any way. So let's say, Advo was in a situation where he was still looking for a shard. He would know that he doesn't need to check any of the elemental islands, like Ice Ring. He knows that he doesn't have to check Cyclos. So that's kind of the cool information you can kind of glean from hints sometimes. Not always, of course. Right, we do know nothing's going to be here for Advo, unless maybe there's a delivery bag or something. Which would only... I mean, he's going to go to Cabana here anyways. Right, there's nothing, though, in Ice Ring. And Crane, of course, not finding anything in Cabana either. Other than that bow. So yeah, if Advo heads north here, it is just over. Advo heading not quite north. Might be looking at his other screen or something. There we go. Now he's gonna peek that spiky chest. So the question is he open it? He's probably gonna save first just to see, and then open it. Or he might just open it. Or he might just store it. No, I think he's just gonna open it. Okay. And there it is. Go mode for Advo. Having the light arrows. Surprised he didn't save first. Just in case. It was a bait item like iron boots. Also was hit somehow? I think so. Yeah, so again, we don't need all the pearls to open up the Hyrule portal. The portal is just there after you get the 8 shards. Alright, now we have the Hyrule segment of the seed. It's always a good segment to practice because you know you're going to do it in every seed. So if you can get this consistent, then it is, it's good. You can end your seed on something you know you can reliably do. Yeah, that's a very empty tracker for Hyrule, which partially to do with what dungeons we got. We didn't have Wind Temple or Earth Temple or Tachi, so the pearls and the mirror shield and the iron boots not required. But yeah, also the foolish hints, those items that I just listed off, in addition to the delivery bag, because none of those mail checks had anything. Those could all be in the foolish locations. So that is a change on 1.10. It was not the case in Season 5. Season 5, Foolishes were not as strong, although they were still probably the strongest hint type. They are now even stronger in that sense. So yeah, we may never see the delivery bag at all, even if Crane does every other check. But Crane is almost done here as well. He's going to be heading over to Islet, which he didn't super swim to earlier in the seed, and then heading over to Needle Rock for his light arrows. He needs to return to DRC to defeat Goma and get his last shard. And it's just missing that last sword, which I don't remember where that is for Crane. But it can't be too far. The little orb there blocking Crane's entry into the islet. And the double snipe there on the moblins on Advo's side. Targeting the back moblin and then shooting through the front moblin to try to get both. Although sometimes the front moblin is a little bit good at deflecting your light arrows. Alright, up again, fight, and Advo's gonna start things off well with a quick snipe to the left. Going for another snipe, but missing it, unfortunately. Might wait for the little shimmy here. Goes for an earlier shot, so misses his chance to get the shimmy shot. Might just opt to wait this time, and will get the shot. Becomes a lot easier when up again is not moving around. Going to be trying for that last snipe. Again, waiting for the shimmy, and gets it a clean up again in phase 1 on Advo's side. While Crane is setting up to do a snipe here. We did not see this from Advo because Advo did not have Fire and Ice, but with Fire and Ice you can stand and hit the bird at the top of the needle rock, I guess, and the flaming bird will actually run into the switch and hit it for you. Alright, Advo setting up for the crypt shot, gets one crypt shot, gets a second, the double crypt on Advo's side. Very clean PG2. To move on to the snake phase, PG3. Getting a fast, quick snipe. Now using the bombs, you're just gonna run into Pup again with the bombs, and that's gonna stun him for quite a long time. Gonna set up for a Trog shot here, and gets it. The Trog shot on Advo's side. GG's, a clean PG3. That is the top runner right there. Alright, now moving on to the rope climb. This always looks a little funny. You're holding R here, and you're mashing A and B alternating, and you can quickly climb the rope. This trick is more about consistency in your mashing than the speed. You actually want to slow down as you go higher up. So, if you're ever struggling with this, remember to hold R. That's one important thing. Also, just focus on making sure that you are, in fact, alternating those button presses. As we have a Crane getting the light arrows. So just missing that last sword now on Crane's side, and he will also be in go mode. Advo entering the rooftop fight here with Ganondorf. Waiting for Zelda to hit him, and then getting 3 quick spins with Soup. And Zelda's going to do one more shot to push us into phase 2 of the fight. Fortunately, going to get knocked out by Ganondorf, but quickly revived. As we do a parry here as Ganondorf lands, and then followed by 2 spin attacks worth of damage. Zelda wakes up, talk to her, gonna get her to shoot right away, and we're gonna reflect with our hero shield, not the mirror shield. We don't need the mirror shield. And a final parry to call time on Advo's side. GG's in first place. Finishing with an official race time of 1:12:34. I like that time. 1:2:34. Only finished an hour earlier. Only finished with a 12:34. Yeah. Well done by Advo. GG's. As Crane is going to head back into DRC. Always a slow trek to get back into DRC. And I believe we are joined by Advo. GG's.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, really well done. Fast seed, very fast seed.
Yeah. Sure. Kind of insane.
Yeah.
Every single dungeon completed before Windfall in like 15 minutes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not a skip windfall seed.
Yeah.
Just had one thing.
Rip.
But yeah, maybe one day.
One day it will happen.
Yeah. We have some pretty nice plays. One of the big ones, compared to what Crane did, is doing that chest storage on Angular to get the grappling hook from Headstone.
Yeah, that's definitely rough if you don't do that. But like with Headstone, path hinted to DRC, and Leaf being Sphere 0 and Mother and Child, and like even the key being like big key chest being hinted, not a key, is like there's only grapple that's locking DRC at that point.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So that was a really nice play. If you are seeing the restream here, we have Crane double dipping DRC, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yeah. So overall, really nice. Starting things off at heads or horseshoe, then going to go do diamond step early. Yeah. And then swim into islets, and then
having that like having the out of logic bow for like ages. If that wouldn't have been out of logic, I probably wouldn't have gone to Needle Rock that soon. But with like the path hint, I was like, my bow's out of logic, so maybe this is just just unlocks a final times.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely, like, the swim you did, very nice. But of course, you don't know that it is the bow there. It could have been delivery bag or something. There's always a risk. But it was the bow, and then you just use a cave to get coral back.
Is it possible that everything from the delivery bag is just barren in 1.10?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm very glad I checked out top of waterfall, because I was like, yesterday in the race yesterday, I didn't know that like deed and everything could be barren, so I did like balance and everything, and it would have been barren. But this time I was like, okay, I'm not. This kind of bad play, like doing deed skip, is kind of bad play now with that. If you haven't gotten it or something.
Sure. Yeah.
So, but I was like, okay, on top of waterfall doesn't have to be barren, I guess. So I guess I repeat that.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of lucky that I thought about that last second.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty ballsy that you didn't save before opening the chest, just in case it was like iron or something. But it was just your lights. And,
I was thinking about it. It's really like something completely useless. I'm like, or like something like delivery bag. And I'm like, okay, I guess I can soft reset to ice ring again.
Right. Yeah, that's also true. Yeah.
Which of course would have been like a pretty big sale again, but oh well.
Yeah. It's actually pretty interesting. So the Needle Rock bow was Path to Ganondorf. And it's different in 1.10 than Season 5. In Season 5, Path to Ganondorf doesn't mean much, it just means you need the item. But in 1.10, Path to Ganondorf specifically means to Ganondorf. So if it was like Path to a dungeon, it would be hinted as Path to a dungeon. So what that tells you is that the bow isn't required for any dungeons or any shards. So, and if you think about it, I guess there wasn't anything behind the bow. There was hook shot, which you didn't need for dungeons or shards, which led to. Well, no, you did. There was a shard, wasn't there?
But I think. No, what was it shards at all? I don't track where stuff is, so I can't tell you.
Yeah.
But
there was a shard, wasn't there, in Diamond Step?
Yeah, there was a shard in Diamond Step. But I guess like the bow could also have been like top of waterfall. You can also use that to get hook from cycles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's some fun logic. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, really nice seed. You got the fastest dungeons, and then you can full clear them as you just dungeon after dungeon. It's really nice.
I was like thinking about at some point it's like Can I get a new like PB with this? And I mean, I guess it is a PB for these settings because it's a little bit different than season 5. But it was
Yeah.
like season 5 PB is like 109 or something.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, you don't start with items, so I guess you can
Yeah.
consider these settings a little slower than season
Yeah.
5. So, but yeah.
Which is Crane missing a sword? Which sword is Crane missing?
That's a good question. I don't remember.
There's one on Small Island. There's one in Under Rope Bridge, and there's one in FW.
Oh, it must be this small island. Yeah. I think Crane tried to get it but failed. Or maybe mispeaked it, not sure. But fortunately gonna be following all the fire and ice checks first probably. So I mean we may get to see if the delivery bag is here somewhere or not.
Seems pretty unlikely at this point. I feel like everything's just buried.
Yeah.
I mean, I also haven't even stored anything from the contents. I'm pretty sure we know everything that's been stored. I wasn't like.
So.
I don't think I'm like missing anything. I probably would have realized that at some point. Yeah, I was like surprised with how fast I could do everything. That I still like when I went to Windfall, I still couldn't do the Fire and Ice checks.
Yeah.
Cleared like probably I don't know 75% of the seed.
Yeah.
Like especially like outside of the like Windfall checks, and then just like nah. There's nothing here.
No, there really isn't.
Like one shard on Ivan or whatever it was.
Yeah. If only that shard was somewhere else. It would have been a Windfall skip seed.
Yeah, that would have been pretty epic.
Although I doubt you would have skipped it. You probably would have gone to Windfall still. But
I feel like if it was nothing on Windfall, the chance of it being heated Baron would have been pretty high.
that's true too, yeah. And Alex going to finish in second place with 120.34. I believe that's going to be a forfeit on Crane's side. So we'll see if we can get Crane in here for an interview as well, discussing things. Let's see. Can I pull him in? Yes, I can. Hello, Crane. GG's.
GG's. Where was the last sword?
I believe you're missing the Forest Haven Island chest.
That hurts to hear.
Unlucky. I mean, you were close. You were close.
Yeah, when I realized I really should have done Headstone before doing Forbidden Woods, that's when I was like, I'm just going to hope that chest is nothing. Because I forgot to peek it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was probably the right decision that really kind of separated you and Advo. Advo went to store Angular to grab that Headstone grapple out of Logic, and then could full clear, DRC, Forbidden Woods, all of that in one go. I mean, you did Forbidden Woods in one go too, but
yeah. I wanted to store Angular like really bad, but then I remembered I couldn't remember the route. After you store it to navigate Headstone, I couldn't remember how you're supposed to get up. So I'm like, I'm just not going to worry about it.
That's fair. Yeah. It's hard. There's a lot of strats in Wind Waker, and if you're not like constantly playing or keeping refreshed, it's very easy to lose things quickly.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, but we saw some solid execution from you, Advo, for sure. A very clean high roll, the trog shot, and the double crit.
I missed double crit like a whole lot recently, so I'm glad I got it.
Yeah, what better time to get it than on restream, right?
True. Naturally.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on the seed from the runners? Crane?
Honestly, not that bad of a seed if I just didn't absolutely body myself.
yeah, definitely a nice seed with the dungeons you got and where the items were for the most part.
I like that the seed showed like how 1.10 is slightly different than the S5 build with like everything in the delivery bag being barren.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Which wasn't possible in Season 5 build.
Yeah. So.
I definitely forgot how fast these seeds can get.
This was also really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like for dungeons, good dungeon set. Glad to have this on the Saturday seed.
Like I finished all dungeons in 15 minutes before I even touched Windfall.
Exactly, yeah.
I didn't realize you went that far. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, there was nothing like pushing me there.
Yeah, I guess.
For
I was
sure,
just trying
yeah.
to find the bait bag because I didn't want to store top of Angular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bait bag definitely hurt the seed if you didn't do it.
For sure. But yeah, good to have the bi-weekly tournament settings race. It says fun race on Restream, but it is the tournament settings race.
I mean, the tournament settings race is also very fun.
That's fair. That's true, yeah. So yeah, we will be back probably in 2 weeks, maybe this time maybe on Sunday. We'll see what the community decides. But yeah, GG's to our runners today, Advo and Crane, as well as Alex off stream.
Yeah. GG's.
Thank you to Cubs for the restream. Thank you to Random Girl for double tracking for us today. Shout outs. Thank you, chat, for hanging out and watching some Wind Waker Randomizer.
And thank you, Tanjiro, for commentating alone.
No problem. Yeah. Hopefully, we will have more and more races moving forward as we head towards the mythical Season 6. Yeah. But yeah, that I will ping Cubs to send us over to ZSR3, who I believe is doing